Hey, good morning, everyone. It's kind of a weird morning. I better say it again. Hey, good morning, everyone. Okay, so we are having a beautiful Friday, nice and cloudy, got some rain yesterday. Looking forward to just mastering our day and just everyone being happy and successful. Yesterday was just kind of one of those days that all day I just felt like I was just like not in the zone, and then for whatever reason, come 5 o'clock, I just hit the zone, and for the like from 5 to 7 is like when I really attacked the day and got everything done, and just really just felt super good. So, anyways, I'm excited about the call this morning. I've got a gentleman by the name of Connor Hatch on the line, and oddly met him from my neighbor across the street, McKay Barney, and they're in the mastermind together, knew each other in school, and Connor is just getting going as far as like real estate goes, and he had some questions for me, and I just wanted to open it up to the community and have the conversation with him on the line, because I know some of his questions that he has is going to benefit you that are listening. And so, hey Connor, are you there?
I am, Spencer.
All right, cool. Thanks for joining us this morning. I really appreciate it. So it sounds like you had a question yesterday, and I'm just wanted to invite you on this morning to ask the question and just, business game plan, real estate talk. What do you got for me?
Absolutely. I love it. So in talking with different entrepreneurs, there's nothing better than being a broke college student, because going out to lunch with different people, you can still use hey, I'm still trying to learn, let me pick your brain. I've loved going to lunch with different entrepreneurs. And in talking with several of them, a lot of them have gone down the road of, hey, let me go to school, let me go start my business, and then I'll jump into the real estate game. It's unique learning from you, because it seems as though you've gone the other route, where you said, hey, let me go down the real estate game, let me build my portfolio, do those different things, and then transition into the business world. Obviously with Caldwell County barbecue and other things. So I would just love to learn more about that and why that was the road that was appealing to you. Obviously it's worked out well for you. But if you wouldn't mind just kind of talking about that a little bit and kind of why that was the road for you.
Yeah, that's great. So just so I understand the question correctly, it seems like for the most part that what you're saying is entrepreneurs, they have a business, they've started a business, and they're working in the business, and then they're like, hey, I want to get into real estate, correct?
Correct.
And I'm kind of the opposite, whereas I was, it appears to be that I have done real estate and have been in real estate, and that's just been my career. And from there, I've just branched off and done other businesses. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So I mean, really, really good question. So I actually was raised an entrepreneurial spirit at heart by my dad, who was an entrepreneur. And the reason why he was just so entrepreneuristic is because, he was actually raised by a father who was a pig farmer. So he naturally, became a pig farmer. And he basically, I felt like, had to do that because this was the largest pig farm, the second largest in the world, 80,000 pigs actually here in Arizona, northern Arizona. And my grandpa just needed help. So, and he had 9 kids and a bunch of sons, and he brought in a bunch of kids from all over the country, a lot of siblings from all over the country. And so there was just a big need, and I think there was a big opportunity, and so he became a pig farmer. But while he was a pig farmer, he also was just exploring in different things. In fact, he only really knew how to do a couple trades. And in the economical crunch of the late 80s, early 90s, and if you weren't around then, I mean, before the 2005 economical issue, late 80s, early 90s was the loan savings and era, and it just really crushed a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs. So it actually hurt the pig farm. But luckily, before that, he became like Pork Man of the Year, and he picked up a smoker in Des Moines, Iowa, and just started smoking meat and cooking, and would do cookouts for his church and for the family and this and that. And so when the pig farm failed, he's like, hey, I really know how to do something else good in that smoked meat. And he came down and started a barbecue restaurant, right? And so I was actually raised that way is just like, hey, keep an open mind and open eyes towards like other opportunities. Just don't stick in one field. But I just want to like reiterate too is like, don't find like super shiny objects. It's ordinary businesses done for an extraordinary time become successful, right? It's not extraordinary businesses that become successful. It's just ordinary business for an extraordinary time becomes successful. So whatever you pick and choose, Connor, or anyone else that's listening and you're getting this going, you're in college and you're getting your career going, I just say this. I just say, hey, pick something and stick to it. And it's got to be, you know, I don't care if it's a police officer or a pilot or something. Pick a career and stick to it and make that be a majority of your time, because over time, if you stick to that job and you're disciplined and you do my 80-20 rule and 20% of everything you make goes back into investments, you're going to be a multimillionaire, even if you're a police officer at the end of your 25, 30-year tenure, because you've stuck to that one thing. So my father-in-law, who's an engineer, is a perfect example of this. He was just an engineer his whole life, but he lived conservatively, and he retired after 40 years, a multimillionaire, and because he did that ordinary job for an extraordinary time and lived by the savings principles. And so, you know, and I'm trying to answer your question as far as like, why did I choose real estate and then choose other businesses? And just that's the job that I chose and that I just to. And I remember like when I started in 2005, things were good. I became a millionaire at the age of 25, not because of me, because of the timing in the market. And I bought 10 rentals, and they all went up $100,000. So my net worth was $1 million. But guess what? It fell, and the economy fell. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, hey, I can keep going in real estate, or else I can jump ship. And I just kept going. And you're going to find that in just a career you pick. Also, you're going to want to jump ship, but I just encourage those out there just to kind of stick to like what career you're choosing and stick to that. Make that be your core business. And once you create cash flow and you are in a situation to where you have cash, then go and chase the shiny object, but don't kill your core business. Recently, just yesterday, I heard one of like the major wholesalers in Phoenix has just kind of been off the map. And so I started asking around about them, and they found something else that they're now doing. And they were actually super successful as a wholesaler, and they were doing this random other business. And I'm like, man, they really chase the shining objects, and they're really actually hurting financially. So you got to be careful with chasing shining objects. Just make sure to keep to your core business and what you're doing. And I have people come to me all the time, Connor, to say, hey, I want to do real estate. And I'm like, whoa, don't quit your job and don't jump into it full time. Keep your job, keep your cash flow going, and use that cash flow to grow your real estate business. So, I mean, I hope that helps you a little bit, and you probably have some questions kind of based off that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. And I think that's a difficult aspect to my generation, at least, is everything that we've ever grown up with is instantaneous. I mean, you look at your phone, everything that you touch gives you feedback right away. And so I think that's a tendency of my generation to, you know, jump ship so quickly, because there's too many people on Instagram and Facebook that are multimillionaires rapid. And so if something doesn't work rapid, there's something wrong, and I've got to go find that other shiny object. So I appreciate that. Along those lines, my favorite quote comes from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, that says, opportunity is a haughty goddess that wastes no time with those who are unprepared. So as an aspiring entrepreneur trying to, you know, figure out, okay, what is that opportunity? What is that thing that I want to go and chase? And I love that you said, pick it and stick to it. I love that. As far as preparing for those opportunities, what are things that I can be doing right now as far as preparing myself so then when opportunity comes, I'm ready to rock and roll and ride with it?
Right. No, that's a really good point. Don't be looking for that like miracle shiny object, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Because more than likely it's that's not going to come to you and just fall into your lap. You're going to come to it, and when you're going to that opportunity, it's not the opportunity that counts. It's you that counts. It's you that's showing up. It's you that's waking up. It's you that's making the opportunity great, right? So I would just kind of pick to that. Just it doesn't have to be extraordinary. It's got to be. It could just be an ordinary thing. But the thing that's going to make it special is you. It's you. It's you showing up, you working hard, your dedication, you becoming absolutely obsessed with what you're doing. And when you're obsessed with what you're doing, it's going to be special and it's going to be good, right? And it's not going to be easy all the time, but it's going to be good. So I hope that helps that question.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it seems as though what you've done with Caldwell County Barbecue, it seems you're heavily involved, but it doesn't take up the majority of your time. How have you been able to structure your time so that you have time for your real estate, groupings and things you've got going on there, but also have your hand in Caldwell County Barbecue as well?
Yeah, great question. So it's not only Caldwell County, but I own 3 different real estate brokerages and several other different businesses. And so, it's dedication. You've got to dedicate every waking moment to something. Don't have an idle second. And a lot of people say, I don't want to have an idle day or an idle hour or an idle. I don't have an idle second in my day. I fill every single second of my day with something productive. And if I'm not being productive, I've got to change that and make that happen. So how I do that is just constantly focusing and not making one thing absolutely awesome and great, but making all things across the board as much as great as possible that I can. And I've got to contribute a lot of that success to just awesome business partners, awesome staff. We have over 130 employees that are just awesome that I think have mostly bought into the vision of Caldwell County of just being the best barbecue there is in the world. And so you just have to get people to buy into your vision. And if they're buying in, then you're going to be fine. And it's up to you to help them buy in, but you can't really push them along, right? You've got to make sure that they're self-motivated and they want to make big things happen too. So, I mean, it's a really good question. It's definitely, Connor, it's a juggle. And I have not arrived, and I will never, ever arrive. It's a continual progress, and I'm focusing on it 24/7. My mind doesn't.
I love it. Okay, well, what is this for, right? Obviously, you've done very, very well for yourself financially. When you look back, when you're first starting, I'm assuming it was probably for your wife, for your family. But tell me a little bit about that, about your initial endeavors, and kind of what was that purpose and your why behind all of it initially, but also your why behind it now. What motivates you to continue and keep going?
You know, it's funny because when people talk about their why, I've never resonated with that. Okay. Yeah, I don't have like this why that defines me and that defines my movement and my obsession over business. And so I actually struggle with that because I don't have that why necessarily. And I'm not just saying, hey, this or that is not important to me, so I don't have that why. It's actually kind of something that I've struggled with for 20 years. It's like, what is that motivation of like, why am I doing this? So that being said, and maybe the issue is I'm looking for something external to fulfill that, and for me, it's probably something that's more internal. And so I don't have an answer to that question other than, I've got the values of that I think I need to have that I continue to work on. I'm married with 4 kids, and I do my best to keep up those relationships and give them the time that I need, that they know that I absolutely love them. I mean, of course, if you're going to say, hey, yeah, what's your why? It's going to be, it's going to be God, and it's going to be family, and it's going to be work, and I try to keep those things in mind. But I don't have like a special answer for you. And I'll be honest with you, I struggle with that because it's something external to me. My why is something internal to me, and I can't really explain what it is other than I'm just obsessed with work, and my addiction is work. And so I might need therapy for that reason.
Man, that's too funny. No, it seems like it's worked out so well. Quick question. I was listening to one of your calls the other day. You talked about one of your buddies doing pig farming over in Africa. I just got back from Africa, and it was funny. While I was out, I told my dad, I was like, Dad, there's a huge market for pig farming out here. Would you ever invest in a pig farm? And he's like, what has gotten into you? You're crazy. How's that going out there? Is that something that's taken off, or do you have any updates there?
Yeah, absolutely. I will connect you to this gentleman and ask him for me, because it's been probably a month since I've heard an update, and I can update.
Okay.
So I'm going to connect you on a text after this call. Last I heard, it's going good. The great thing about a pig farm is if you've got a sow, which is a female pig, and a good boar, which is a male pig, and if you've got a good boar that is making babies with these sows and producing pigs, it's a never-ending cycle.
Sure.
Almost like a residual income, or So that's kind of the miracle of pig farming. Is you continue to have pigs can keep having babies, and if you can manage that process and let these pigs to keep reproduce, you're going to always have an income with these special pigs. So that's a good question. I'm gonna reach out to them. I need to get an update too. And the reason guys behind this pig farm in Africa is to help educate these poor communities how to have a business and create a business. And pig farming is great because of the concept I previously talked about. So yeah, that's cool. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely.
I've probably taken up enough of your time, Connor, and everyone else that's listening. Anything else that you wanted to cover before we take off for today?
I think that's it, man. I just appreciate your time and obviously your generosity. It's ever since, when do we meet? Wednesday, I think, because McKay texted me your number, and, we've gotten back and forth so many times, and so I just appreciate you giving back and, being more than willing to express your ideas and share, your tips and tricks. So, man, I just appreciate you and appreciate our relationship.
Yeah, heck yeah, Connor. Let's continue it, and let's get into. We talked a lot about me, which is fine today. I'd like to talk a little bit more about you next time. So let's schedule something soon on the phone or sometime. I know I was going to meet up with your guys' group, so let me know. I hope that helped you, but let's talk about you more and how I can help you in the future. And I appreciate everyone. You guys have a great day. I'm going to hop off and get some houses sold and make some things happen. Connor, let's get together again soon. I appreciate you taking your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Spencer.
Hey, thank you, brother. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Yeah.